Hi there, and welcome to my weekly vlog. Wow, what a ride! And boy, can I repeat that? Wow, what a ride. I when we started this summer, because I was moving, because of many other factors, the need of our community, we sort of declared July as Self Care Month. Well, I am expanding that to July and August. Uh, I moved in July, so August becomes my self care in a big way month. And I want to share that I had a fascinating weekend where you get to like, what happens when you get to that point where you're like, okay, next. So it became obvious to me that I needed a profound rest period. I needed to say to myself, I needed to say to my body, I needed to say to my cells, I needed to say to every little thing, rest now. Rest and take a deep breath. Take a deep breath and just let yourself be. Ah, and then I immediately set a bunch of goals. I was going to get this done, and I was going to get that done, and I was going to get this done, and I wanted to run this errand, and I wanted to run that errand, and I have to go to the UPS store, and I have to go to FedEx, and uh, yeah. Uh, and I started to laugh at myself, and I said, what would happen if all you did was give yourself permission to rest? That's it. Just give yourself permission to rest. And so at each point, when I would get to that moment where I would be like, okay, got to do something, I would breathe into it and say, now what would happen if all you did was have rest, deep rest? And so I've had a fascinating weekend. Now, I'm noticed, and that's what happens. A little bit of resting, a little bit of yawning, a little bit of but boy, am I happy. Hmm, God, am I happy. And then, I have been wondering if I should say anything about this. So I am going to talk about it here. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but I am going to talk about it because of the chat that's going on. The chat is mostly on YouTube, but the chat is here. Carol asks, is there a resource for locating doctors highly experienced and recommended in the treatment of lipedema? I'm especially interested in surgeons as I'm giving liposuction and she says debucking, but it's probably she's talking about debulking, is what it's called. Serious consideration. Yeah, she did say that. Should have read debulking. Um, Hi, Julie. Good to see you. Yeah, my body's been waiting my whole life for this. Yeah, really. Uh, and I just want to go back to Carol's question again because I wasn't planning to talk about it, but I am working. That is what I am working on. So we have been looking at how we can most help our community, our tribe community, but our community. We have people who come to our 3-day events and to many of our webinars and different things that we offer. We have so much information. We have so much um, real solid research based. This is what you can do to help yourself. And so, um, and we've been looking at what's the next edge? What's the next edge that could really make a difference? And it really has come up about surgery, that there are so many women, so many looking for the right situation, the right surgeons, the right pathway, if you will. Because surgery, it's not just surgery alone. Even to get approved for surgery, you have to have done, I think it's 90 days or 3 months of conservative care. And conservative care consists in a lot of what we recommend: diet, exercise, manual lymph drainage, um, dry brushing, um, etc. There's a whole series of different interventions that we can do. Um, and so let me ask you, since you guys are, active on the chat, is this of interest? I know Carol is saying it's of interest to her personally, but do you think on the whole that people are looking for different ways to integrate a comprehensive treatment plan for themselves that can include surgery as one of the options? That's really what we're looking at. So if you have a comment or a question, please put it in the chat, and that will help to guide where I take this next. Yes, I am. I think others are too. Oh, thank you, Tijuana. Tijuana. I hope I said that right. Um, all right, that's good. We are in the process of putting together an actual program. There are so many things that you need to know as you move forward with surgery as one of the options. I remember my favorite line is, "It's not a haircut." It's like I went to surgery thinking I was going for a haircut. It wasn't a haircut, it was something much more complex. And in my personal case, I had how many surgeries? I had two. I had two lipedema surgeries. And I have to say that the second one almost did me in. I had a very, very, very difficult time. When I came back, I had my surgeries in Europe. When I came back after the second surgery, I was in and out of the ER, in and out of the hospital with some very serious, I was in kidney failure at one point. Yeah, it wasn't pleasant. Uh, Now, there's a bunch of things that I learned along the way. That's really how I began doing the holistic approach. I said, that doesn't work. Let me see what can work. I think this is really important, what Sandra put in. For my spine surgery and knee replacement surgeries, I needed documentation of conservative measures first: weight loss, physical therapy, various conservative medical pain treatments. Yes, always there is a progression for surgical approval. Uh, Now, this is also interesting. Pat says at 65, she doesn't think she'd do the surgery, but her daughter's much younger, and wanting her to understand that it is an option, and that as a younger lady with lipedema, it would be helpful to know the steps. That's what we thought. That's the bottom line. What we thought is, well, if you're interested, um, that's great. If you're not interested, that's, also okay. Sometimes it's just good to understand the options and why those options are present. So we are in the process of putting together a special, I think it's going to land in Tribe. Tribe is our membership group. And I think it's going to land in Tribe. And it is going to be here, come, let us hold your hand. Let us put an arm around your shoulder. Sit down, have a cup of tea. All of this is metaphoric. Um, we are going to look at where you are medically, what's needed for you to go through the process, one, with your insurance, two, with a potential surgeon. What do you need to know? What questions do you need to ask? What answers do you need? The first one being, are you a candidate for surgery? That's the first one that I neglected. Well, I didn't neglect it. I just was rebellious. And it wasn't even that I was rebellious, it was just that I was determined to do it my way. I guess that could be considered rebellious. I was determined to get the surgery, even though at the time I was not a good candidate. Uh, so Sandra talks a little bit about what's needed. We need documentation of lipedema and medical records, documentation of what you're trying if we want insurance recognized needs. So we're bringing on board. I might actually ask her to come to one of these vlogs because she's just wonderful. Her name is Michelle Jacques. And here's TJ. She's trying to get her surgery approved, but it's difficult. Yeah. Uh, yeah. And Carol also talks. She needs improvement with the lipedema in order to have a knee replacement and nerve impingement surgeries. Yeah, I had the same problem with my hip replacement. Uh, my lipedema had to improve, and I had to lose significant weight, which I had gained as a result of the lipedema in order to have my hip replacement. So we've decided, rather than just talk around all of this, that we would, boom, go right to the center of it. So we are going to be having and hosting a webinar directly on, here are the steps you need to know about surgery. Here are the questions you need to ask. This is what it's going to look like in order to go through the process. How do you get pre-authorization? What are the things you need to know about? People float information on it on the internet, but I have not seen anywhere something that clearly says this is how you do it. And I think that's so not only for lipedema surgery, but for knee and hip replacements, since so many of us need them. Oh, Kathy. Oh, Kathy, you are a virtual cornucopia of information. Kathy Plavkin, who's, I should call Dr. Plavkin, just said that Doctors Herbst and Wright just published a large comprehensive lipedema liposuction research article. Can you send that to me, Kathy? I would really appreciate it. I have not seen it, but I've been totally focused on moving, so I haven't done much of anything. I mean, except that, and that's been a lot. Uh, oh, wow. Thanks, Stormy. How can you get involved to help be an advocate? You know what? All of you can. Let people know that this is a direction we're taking. Uh, um, and this is Marilee says she's been turned away twice because of her BMI. We're going to be addressing that. So we are going to be hosting our conference in September. So we are going to be having a segment at the conference that's going to address this directly. It's not going to be hugely comprehensive because it's a 3-day session. But what we are going to do is we are going to have like our membership group where you can sign up for it. You can sign up to be a member of the lipedema surgical community. And what that is those who are exploring surgery as an option. You may have decided you want to move forward with it, or you may be thinking about it, but it's going to be those who clearly want to understand and explore surgery as an option. There will be a charge. We will be having a number of professionals involved. But there'll be lots of information coming along. Let me know if you, again, I'm just looking at the chat. Again, the reason I'm talking about it, I wasn't sure. I'm one that I respond very quickly to what the universe offers. And when I got on, and Carol had written, is there a resource for locating highly experienced and recommended in the treatment of lipedema, especially surgeons? I thought, that's not an accident. It's always time to include the community in the conversation, which is what I've done for the past 15 years. Whenever I have an idea about what we're doing or a direction we should go, I include you as part of the community in that conversation because I think you have a voice and your voice matters. At least your voice matters to me. And I think that together we're much stronger than we are singularly. So Stormy says, I'm working with Cover Lipedema right now, and I will definitely love to join you guys also. I'm very interested. Great, Stormy. We would love to have you. I'm not sure what Cover Lipedema does. I know what they do is they work with people on getting insurance coverage. We think that's only a small part of what needs to happen. I think from the very beginning, the understanding what it is, how it works, what the different surgeons can do and what they can offer, your candidacy as a patient, as a surgical patient, what constitutes that? Why are those suggestions in place? Thanks, Kathy. Kathy says we love that about you, Catherine. It's true. I just jump on board. It's sort of like, okay, I have this thought, and someone says, oh, I have this thought too. And I'm like, two of us is better than one of us. Okay. Can we get info on this if we cannot go to the conference? That would be so helpful to those who will unfortunately miss the conference. Yes, you will get information because we'll be doing a webinar, at least one, probably 2 webinars on this so people can know about it. But those webinars will direct people to come to the conference. But I will, who sent that to me? Be humble. Okay, be humble. I will just know that it's because you've asked me. When I say someone's asked, this is real. I will do a special invite after the conference to invite people who are not able to make the conference to join us in the membership group, because it will be a membership group. We want something that's very connected, that has a lot of support, that takes people through all the steps from the soup to nuts kind of thing. Anyway, well, that's what's been in the works. And I'm thrilled to say that I think that we can continue to help all of us as the lipedema community, and wishing you the best week. I'm definitely going to continue to rest, but tomorrow I'm in action again. So I will see y'all soon. Love you. I am. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, wherever you are, whatever time.